right, everybody, welcome back to the show. So good to be here with you today on this Mindset and Motivation Monday. I want to share with you one of the biggest mistakes I see almost every health coaching client make as they begin their wellness journey. And that wellness journey essentially begins with looking at what type of doctor or health coach or integrative health practitioner am I going to work with, and what are the results I'm looking to get? So whether it's an autoimmune issue or some type of chronic health-based condition, maybe you're looking to gain weight, lose weight, whatever it is, there's always a specific pattern we see health coaching clients fall into unless they've already worked the process before, they've already come out the other side, and now they're looking to optimize to a greater degree. Even myself and other practitioners fall into the same trap. I want to share that with you here today. So I start every single one of my health coaching consultations like this. I always ask an individual, I said, listen, we're going to cover every single thing that you're dealing with. We're going to take our time. I want to listen to your story. I want to understand every detail. I'm sometimes going to ask questions that might seem a little bit too nuanced, but what I really want to understand is that one needle in a haystack that's going to lead me to truly realizing what the underlying root cause or causes are to what's truly ailing you and why it's been so many months or years you've been dealing with this. So we always start like that. And I always then say, what is the number one thing? So we're going to work on everything, but what's the number one thing if we had to work on one thing, one symptom that keeps you up at night that you're struggling with the most? So we always start there because people want to give you everything all at once. And I totally get it, but I want to go deep on each one of these symptoms, on everything that's bothering you, whether it's digestive issues and bloating or poor sleep or restlessness or nighttime urination, like all of these different things people struggle with. I want to know, I want to understand how long it's been going on, etc. All right, so we're working through the consultation. And as we start to then move through the process, I say, okay, I got it. So this started, and then this happened, and then this happened around the same time, and now we're here. Okay, so we start to look at the past, the health history, and we begin to now move towards, all right, if we want to ascertain whether this is a hormonal issue, whether it's a hormonal issue mixed with gut-based dysfunction like candida overgrowth or SIBO or H. pylori parasites, we're going to run these particular labs. Or if we can't afford to run the labs, we're going to begin the specific protocols to begin to eradicate those issues, rebalance the body. All right. So as we start to map out the plan, this is potentially how it came about because we don't have a crystal ball. We can't look into the past and say, oh, you did this, then this, and then this, and this. We can start to paint a picture though. And then we can say, at least where are we today? We can run the at-home labs or we've used the assessments, and then we can begin the protocols. So inevitably then the next question is, how long is it going to take in order for me to heal? Or how long is it going to take in order for me to get better? That is the biggest mistake that almost every client makes in the beginning of their journey. And I want to share with you why. Because even though I've given you previous Mindset and Motivation Monday shows that go over the SMART goal setting, right? So specific, measurable, right? Really important, attainable, timely, as we're moving through that process, and realistic. I missed that R. And so you're always putting a deadline on your goals, right? So if you set a goal to get certified as a health coach, well, you know that the certification process takes 12 weeks for level 1 in IHP and 12 weeks for level 2 in IHP. So you can set a goal as to accomplish. Now, I can't accomplish it faster than that, but you can accomplish it in that amount of time. So you can set that goal and make that happen. But with your body, the problem is it doesn't translate that way, right? We can't say, oh, well, if you do this and you do this and you do this, you're better in approximately, or not approximately, you're better in 13.5 days, right? It doesn't necessarily work like that, and that's part of the frustration. And here's why. Although we can share with you an estimate based on others that have come before you, you don't want to put the pressure on yourself in order to heal within that given time frame. One, there's also the nocebo effect, which is really important. So if I say, well, typically with an autoimmune issue, it takes about 6 months to get well. You'll say, oh, I'm not going to get better for 6 months. What if you could get better in 6 weeks? Like, what if you healed in 6 weeks? Why would we want to put the nocebo effect saying it's going to take 6 months? So we don't want that, right? But on the other hand, what if it took you 12 months instead of 6 months? Now, you've been dealing with this, let's just say, Hashimoto's for 8 years. And we say, listen, you're going to get better within 12 months. You'd say, okay, well, I wish it was sooner, but 12 months, and then I'm better for the rest of my life? The answer is yes. Oh, that's not so bad. But if you thought it was going to be 3 months and it took 12, well, now it seems like a really long time. But you've already had this for 8 years and there's no sign you're ever going to get rid of it. And now you'll be better in 12 months, right? So here's what I also want to show you is that there are 1,000, there's more than 1,000 different intricacies as to how the body heals. Let's just go through the basics. We don't know exactly how your body is going to respond to the de-stress protocol, which is how you heal. Diet, exercise, stress reduction, toxin removal, rest, and your sleep protocols, right? Your emotional base balance, your scientifically backed supplement protocols, and your success mindset. So your health coach or integrative health practitioner is going to modify your nutrition, your exercise, your stress reduction techniques, your toxin removal, based on how your body's doing along the way. It could speed up the process if you're doing really well with no reaction, or it needs to slow it down based on how your body's reacting. Plus, we also don't know, as let's say an integrative health practitioner, how often you follow the plan. Are you 80%? Are you 80% for the day? Are you 80% for the month? What does that look like, right? Do you follow the whole plan, but once a week, let's say, for a full day or off the plan? And you build up all this inflammation in your body, you get really poor sleep, you're drinking 3, 4, 5 drinks of alcohol one night, well, that'll really set you back. And so when we look at those things, we don't know, and we can't say exactly how long it's going to take you to heal. If you're following the protocol to a T, we can say, okay, well, in an ideal world, you're going to feel tremendously better in the first 3 weeks of the 21-day functional medicine detox. And then most people, typically about 12 to 16 weeks in order to heal, following a specific protocol that they're on, either the CBO protocol for the gut, the mold protocol, the heavy metal detox, the parasupport, whatever it is. Now, let's say there's multiple issues that need to be fixed. Gut issues plus mold, gut issues plus heavy metals, right? Or parasites plus candida and bacterial overgrowth. All right. So now it might be 3 to 6 months in order to heal. Now, it doesn't mean that you wake up on the 180th day and all of a sudden you're better. No, like you're actually getting well every week. Like the thing is, like you're getting percentages better each week. That's typically how the healing process takes and works. The first couple of weeks, you might not even feel so great because you're going to be introducing fasting and maybe cutting down from 6 cups of coffee to 3 cups of coffee a day, right? Like you're reducing. So in the beginning, there's a process that's taking place in the body. But for most individuals, the recommendation that the number we have to give is about 3 to 6 months. But the nice thing is the time's going to pass anyway, right? And if you're not following the protocol, you're not going to get well. So if you're looking for the quick fix, sure, you could starve yourself with a keto diet of specific nutrients that you need and just go high fat and throw off your gut microbiome in the long run. And yeah, you can get noticeable weight loss results and a decrease in this, and this. But is that the long-term plan? Like, don't we want to look at what are the true underlying root cause imbalances and work on those? That would be my opinion. That would be my goal for you. And then for the longest and hardest based plans, it's really 6 months. And for the worst of the worst, it's about 12 months maximum. So when you look at it that way, if you know going into it, I'm going to commit the next worst case scenario, 6 to 12 months to my health, that's going to enable you to stick with the process, understanding that you're not going to have to be perfect, but you do and will have to commit to the plan. So having said that, my highest recommendation is to work with a great local naturopathic doctor, an integrative health practitioner, someone that is going to see this journey through to the end with you. That understanding that the only way that you won't get well is if you give up. If you're working with that type of individual, that type of coach who cares for you as much as you care for your own health, maybe even more, the end goal is inevitable. That's what I always like to share with any of my wellness clients, any mentees, any of the IHPs I try to chat with, is that success is inevitable. Success is inevitable. The only way you won't achieve your goal is if you give up. And the days of it taking 10 years to get well, like it took me, from 17 years old to 27 years old. Those days are over. And the reason is that we didn't have the online sharing of ideas back then. I was trying to get well during the 90s, right? During the late 90s and early 2000s. Most people and the internet was not like what it is today. Now, the sharing of information is unbelievable. There was no such thing as these health certifications back then. There was personal training certifications, there was nutrition certifications. Functional medicine was in its infancy. And now we have the ability to ship labs anywhere in the world, find out vitamin and mineral deficiencies, omegas, omega-6s, gut-based issues, heavy metals, you name it, we can find it. And so now we shorten the process to saying what we once guessed at, we can now personalize for the individual. We don't need to waste time with protocols that aren't what you need. We know exactly the deficiencies you have that we need to replace and the toxicities that you have that we need to remove. And after that, it's simply time, allowing the body to heal. And there's one more thing I would add. This wellness process is not just about getting the body to get better. It's about the mind as well. It's becoming a different person in both mind and body. A person that will no longer relapse back to where they were. Because ultimately, it is the diet, exercise, stress reduction, toxin removal, rest, emotional balance, scientifically backed supplements, and success mindset that got us to where we were presently today. And that new individual that has more enlightenment, more knowledge, more wisdom, sure, they're going to make mistakes in the future, but they're not going to go back to the person they were before to got them what the results were today. And if you can share that mentality, that mindset, and that growth ability to want to improve in both body and mind, that is part of that journey as well. And that doesn't happen overnight. The nice thing is it will happen. Don't give up. Success is inevitable. Thanks so much for tuning into this Mindset and Motivation Monday. I appreciate you. I thank you. Feel free to share the show with anyone who you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.